In this video, I'm going to talk about a few things that I think Germany does better than the US. There are things that the US does better than Germany, and I'll do another video on that later. Now, the first thing that Germany does better than the US is their healthcare system. The German healthcare system is one of the best in the world. In the US, if you're really sick and you have to go to the hospital and be in the hospital for a few days, even if you have insurance, that could cost you thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. In my previous life, I was a bankruptcy attorney, and I saw more people have to file bankruptcy because they got sick than almost any other reason. In Germany, if you get sick and you have to be in the hospital, you are charged very little, if anything at all, for that stay. Germans also tend to go to the doctor more often when they're not feeling well. And because Germans tend to go to the doctor more often and they don't wait till they're super sick to go to the doctor, they tend to be more healthy than people in the United States. In the US, people put off going to the doctor and don't want to go to the doctor. You still have to pay a co-payment, and if you haven't reached your deductible, you have to pay for your visit out of pocket anyway. And that deductible could be $5,000 or $10,000. So even with insurance, you're still having to pay to go to the doctor, which makes no sense to me. I don't understand it at all. One of the most expensive aspects of the US healthcare system is medications. On top of having to pay every time you go to the doctor, even with insurance, medications can cost hundreds and thousands of dollars a month. In Germany, the most you'll pay out of pocket for a medication is €5. Now, the second reason I think living in Germany is better than living in the US is that it's mostly free to go to college. In the US, the average cost per year in a public college is $10,230. Average cost in a private university is $35,830 a year. Neither of those costs include room and board, which can be $10,000 or $20,000 more per year. Average student comes out of college owing about $37,000, and many students come out of college owing $100,000 or more. Getting out of college with that much debt can be crippling, and you could be paying that debt off until you retire from your job that you paid $100,000 for the education to get. In Germany, the only cost you're going to pay is a student fee that you have to pay every term, and that fee ranges between 100 and 300 euros depending on the school. So students graduating from university in Germany don't come out saddled with $100,000 in student debt. I have a series of videos that I've made about attending college in Germany that I'll link up here and I'll put in the description as well. Now, job training is something that the Germans do a lot better than the US does as well. Germany has a long history of apprenticeships in nearly all trades. This means that workers are skilled before they get hired, and employers don't have to spend time with on-the-job training. Employees are ready to go when they're hired. In the US, there's a shortage of skilled workers because the US doesn't emphasize skills training like Germany does. Now, I believe this is training as more and more high schools offer vocational training and alternative paths other than going to college. If you're still watching, thank you very much. If this video is helpful to you and you're enjoying it, please go ahead and click the like button. If you haven't already, go ahead and click the subscribe button and make sure you hit the bell icon so you'll get noticed when I post new videos. I post informational videos like this every Tuesday. If you live in Germany and you're from the US, what are some things that the Germans do better than the US does? What are some things that the US does better than Germany does? Let me know in the comments. The fourth thing that is better in Germany than in the US is the cost of rent. Now, it's true in some of the major cities like Berlin, rent is increasing and rent is notoriously high in Munich. The average rent in Munich is around €17 per square meter. The average rent in Frankfurt is around €15 per square meter. It used to be super cheap to live in Berlin, but the cost of rent is rising and the average cost per square meter is around 10 to 12 euros right now. Leipzig is the best value when it comes to rent in the major German cities, with the rent costing about 6 to 7 euros per square meter in Leipzig. In the US, the monthly average for rent is $1,467. And in Germany, the average rent varies from big cities to small cities. In Munich, the most expensive city to live in, the average rent is about €1,100, which is about $1,300 in the US. So even in the most expensive city in Germany, it's still less expensive than the average rent in the United States. Now, the fifth reason why living in Germany is better than living in the United States is parental leave. In Germany, a parent who interrupts his or her career to raise a child receives 67% of their last net income. This benefit lasts for 1 year, which can be extended to 14 months if the second parent likewise stays at home for at least 2 months. Germans are entitled to parental leave until the child reaches 3 years old, or he or she can attend a state-run kindergarten. Now, these are just 5 reasons why living in Germany is better than living in the US. There are plenty of reasons why living in the US is better than Germany, and I'll make a video on that as well. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you found it educational. If you did, make sure you click that like button. It helps me to know what you like to watch, and it helps the channel to grow. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and subscribe to my channel and make sure you hit the bell icon so you'll get noticed when I post new videos. I post new informational videos like this every Tuesday. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you next time.